to us about the very name of the event that we're actually doing, In the Black and Giving Back. This really is an opportunity for students in particular to learn what it's about, what it's like to go into business for yourself, or to even consider it as a possibility as an entrepreneur, as well as giving back. So the area of philanthropy. Hopefully each go hand in hand. No matter what business you are going into, no matter what your major is, where you're studying now, there is the opportunity for you to go into business for yourself. And we have a wonderful speaker this afternoon that's going to be engaging us in that conversation. But again, we really appreciate you taking time to be with us this afternoon. Don't know if we have, are you interested in maybe seeing who we've got here?
Yes,
People
please.
just to introduce themselves, tell us whether you're a student or not. If you are, what you're studying. We'll kind of, Mr. Brian Fontenot, the founder of BLF Foundation.
Yeah. Thanks so much for your intros. It's a pleasure to meet everybody. Good to see your smiling faces and get to learn about a little bit about your background. So a little bit about myself. I'm Brian Fontenot. I'm the CEO and the founder of the BLF Foundation. Our BLF Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit that's focused on the retention, development, and graduation of minority college students through scholarship and mentorship opportunities. But a little bit about my background is that I'm originally from a place called Baytown, Texas. How many of y'all know where that's at? I'm actually surprised. I think we'd be getting on like the Weather Channel, so I know if we're on the map, we're getting closer. It's right outside of Houston, Texas, for those who don't know. I'm born and raised there, and I came to Austin in 2007, so I'm making my 10-year, anniversary of being in Austin, where I became a student at the University of Texas. After graduating in 2012, I've been in Austin ever since, and I guess I call this place home because I've been here for so long. But one of the things I've been able to do all my time being here in Austin is really trying to find ways to give back. And through the conversations that I want to have with you today, I want to make sure that you find your own way to make an impact in your local communities. So the first question I have for you is, what's important to you? What things kind of drive you late at night? What kind of things kind of burn your soul? And I want to hear just some of your thoughts. So if you feel free to respond and just chime in. What's important to you?
I learned this from this gentleman,
Community.
community.
That's definitely very important. Anybody else?
Family.
Family. You can't forget family. That's most important.
The ability to help someone.
Ability to help someone. I love it. I love it.
Give back.
Giving back. Definitely all are very important things. But what I want to tell you a little bit about today is my story of the foundation, but most importantly, what was important to me. One of the things that I struggled with, that I kept seeing more than anything, was that these talented students were not making it through the college pipeline. That to me was something that began to burn my soul. I began to want more than anything to see the friends and the most talented people that I could have in my classes, or the people that I would go hang out with on the weekends, be able to make it through this college pipeline so that they could be able to be in a position of obtaining that job that's going to help them with the salary that they're looking for, so that they could provide for their family, so that they could support others. Or if for the ones that have entrepreneurial ambitions, I wanted them to be able to create their own businesses. And I wanted them to be able to find success by utilizing what they learned through their schooling and their teaching and applying that into some type of business that was going to impact society. But more often than not, I was finding one of two things. One, some of the most talented people that I thought were ended up dropping out of school. And there were a variety of different reasons. Some of it was financial. Some of it was life happens and things come up and you have to take a detour in life. Some of it was not having the right skills to be able to proceed through college and find success. The other thing I was finding is that if they were graduating, some of the most talented people that I found were not able to convert that into employment, whether it be creating their own business or finding a job. And those two things kept me up at night. I spent a lot of my extra free time coaching students that came kind of behind me when I was in my classes to really kind of give them insights and guidance to things that I had used to be able to find success in my own life. And I found that it became something that I was doing quite regularly. And 5 years out of school, I started looking at, what am I really doing that's really kind of making an impact? How am I able to kind of really touch these lives, and how could I really do it in a way that could be impactful to everyone? So there was a conversation that happened. A conversation that happened right before my 26th birthday. Now, how many of y'all like waffles? pretty much almost everybody's hand came up. I love waffles. I love chicken and waffles. I will debate you on where the best chicken and waffles are at, and it's definitely not in California at Roscoe's, what people say. Now, this wasn't the best chicken and waffles in the world, but the conversation and the food changed my life. And the reason why I say that is because the conversation I had was in it with somebody that I personally have been mentoring for over the past year. And through this conversation, I told them, you know, I have a fraternity brother in Houston, Texas, that every year he turned his birthday into a type of fundraiser to be able to give back and support people in the community. And instead of turning my birthday into another celebration where for some of us might go into a club, get a section, get some drinks or something like that, I wanted to turn my birthday into something that could be a way of giving back, impacting the community. I wanted to do something similar. And my friend sat there and told me, why? Why are you waiting to do this? I was like, I don't know. I need to be 40 years old, successful, flying a private jet and driving a Lamborghini. That's what I thought was success meant in my mind. But there was no time better than now, she said, for me to do what I wanted to do. And so in fact, I took her advice. My 27th birthday, I did a fundraiser that raised funds to save up money for a scholarship. And in fact, if she hadn't pushed me, I probably wouldn't have done it. I probably would have been waiting until that okay sign comes up and says, now's the time where you can start giving back to people. Now's the time where you can start investing your impact. And so I did a fundraiser, doing a day party, and I did a Sunday brunch. And I initially raised funds. But what those funds turned into is something that I had always envisioned and wanted to do since I've been 18 years old. That was the development of the foundation. I had been wanting to build this foundation since I was 18 years old so I could be able to find ways to impact other people. And in fact, all of the work that I was doing outside of school to help other people was going to be the basis of what I did in the foundation. There was no time better than now for me to start. I didn't need to wait for a long time because what I was able to fundraise from just doing the birthday event allowed for me to initially start the foundation and really be able to give this impact. But more important than anything, there was two exact reasons why I wanted to do the foundation. Now, if you see my twin over there, that is my father, in case you're wondering. We look too far alike, so if the police ever came to find me, I know we're both going to jail. But the two most important reasons were my mother and my father. I wanted to find a way to be able to give them their flowers while they were still alive. It meant so much to me that they had invested their time, their energy, the sacrifices, and the resources to pour into me to make sure that I had the life that I was able to live. And it was important for me to honor my parents. And so what I was able to do was be able to build the foundation around building a scholarship in my mother and father's name, embodying some of the lessons and the teachings that they taught me as principal tenets for the scholarship. Not only that, I built out the mentorship program for the scholarship, mentorship program for the foundation based on some of the lessons and things that they taught me. Now, the first year was a success. We were able to award 4 scholarships, where each student received $1,000 towards tuition payments. They also received what I call the technology scholarship they need. How many of y'all been able to get through your classes at ACC without a computer? It's tough. You need technology, especially in this day and age, to kind of get things passed. And so part of their scholarship is that they also received an Apple MacBook Pro and an Apple iPad. But not only that, is that from the scholarship pool and students apply for the scholarship, they also get entered into our Developing Future Leaders Mentorship Program, where we focus on a year-long program focusing on developing those soft skill traits. What those defined are things like time management, problem solving, critical thinking, importance of networking, goal vision setting, learning how to kind of handle your finances, but learning also how to think critically in entrepreneurial type situations. We had 10 students that started in our program that were able to go through this program. And some of the comments and things that they said is that this program has changed my life. Some of the things that they told me is that I've been waiting for this session on time management so that I could learn how to be better. A student that was starting her own wig company found success in our session on personal development where she learned how to do a SWOT analysis, identifying what her strengths were, where her weaknesses were, the opportunities and things that would be a threat to her. And when she sent an email to me and said, you know what, doing this SWOT analysis helped me to strengthen my business. I now see areas and opportunities that I never saw before thanks to the lessons and things that I learned. All these lessons and things that they were getting through this program was something they could apply immediately to their life. Something that would help them to get through the course of school, But not only that, be able to help them if they were able to get into careers. Or in the case of some of the students, if they're going to be in entrepreneurship, what do they need to do to find successful businesses? But most importantly, the other things that kind of happen is we found other success in working with different people. So one of our first title partners was State Farm. State Farm funded a big portion of our program and helped us also on not only funding, but also helping with financial literacy. Another partner that we worked with was the University of Texas at Austin's Division of Diversity and Community Engagement. They provided opportunities for us to be able to work in different classrooms and different kind of guidance for the foundation and helping us to be able to find mentors and other people to help with all the students. Another partner that we worked with is Houston-Tilson University, which helped us through doing a session on leadership, helping to understand code switching and how to be able to speak as a leader to different communities and different audiences. Not only that, they provide a meeting session for us to be able to meet in, helping to interact with our students. We also worked with Austin Area Urban League, who really helped us in understanding how to work with civic organizations and finding success in the causes that are important to you and aligning it to organizations that exist, but also providing us a means, place, and resources for our students. One of the other corporate companies that we worked with was IBM. IBM allowed for us to be able to come onto their campus and do a session on design thinking. Design thinking is a way of attacking problem solving and critically thinking about things. And so the students in our program worked on specifically figuring out what kind of things were going on for their curriculum for the upcoming year, what kind of things would kind of hinder them from finding success in the semester, and gave them a whole bunch of solutions on how they could solve the problems or things that they were critically thinking about. So they got a new lens of how they can really attack when a problem happens, what steps to perform in order to get the desired outcome. But last but not least, the City of Austin's Equity Office was one of our partners this year that helped to give us kind of an understanding on goal and vision setting, talking about opportunities, building your career, or building the entrepreneur pipeline if that's what you're looking for, and also allowed us to go back to the City of Austin's chambers where the mayor's at. So now I know what kind of room he's at, what kind of TV he's watching, and where he gets all his drinks. But we found that, you know, when you have a mission and a vision that's really focused on giving back and helping people, what you're seeing right here is that there are companies and organizations who are also invested in your success. And they wanted to be partnered with our foundation to be able to go back and help out all those people that we had through our program. And they continue to want to be able to partner with us so we can be able to impact more students. Now, so our first year is wrapping up, but after all the partnerships, what was the tangible results of what happened through the program? First things we found was that 100%. What does this 100% really mean? 100% of our students that were seniors graduated through the program. 100% of the students who were rising seniors have already accepted jobs so that the moment they graduate, they already have something waiting for them. 100% of the students got through their semester of college. Not one student dropped out. That was one of the things that we set as a goal for our foundation of what we wanted to accomplish. But not only that, 568. It's the number of hours that mentors and speakers donating to this program to pour into the lives of countless students. We had many, many, many mentors that really wanted to come and say, I want to be able to make an impact on somebody's life. The mission of what you're doing agrees with what my heart is telling me. And the mentor-mentee relationships are amazing. Like I just went on Monday with one of the pairs to go get wings at Pluckers, and we talked about life and football. And I don't know how many of y'all are football fans, but yeah, the season has been kind of up and down, so we got to some heated discussions. But it was cool to watch the dynamic and watch the transfer of knowledge, but most importantly, he has a friend for life. Somebody that he can call on late hours of the night, somebody that's going to be there that's being a champion. And other mentor-mentee relationships have been amazing from the things they've told me. Taking them to different jobs, taking them to networking events, helping them introduce people that they're really looking for. And just the happiness that I can tell when you see the mentor-mentee bonding is something amazing. Couldn't have been replaced by anything else. But not only that, 28. 28 is the number of hours of professional development these students have received throughout the course of the year that's been given by speakers, but also through different mentorship sessions. So now they're more armed and prepared than they were before. And they even see the change in them by the conversations I had with them in January to the conversations I have now. It's truly impacted their life, and so much to the point that after a mentorship session, they asked me, when is the next one? I gotta be here. I mean, literally, one of the students was supposed to be going to visit a friend in another city for our next mentorship session, and she said, I'm about to cancel my flight and tell my friend to come here because I can't miss this. And it's now a community. They're all supporting each other. These students work with each other, they see them all the time, but most importantly, now they have new friendships. But last but not least, approximately $30,000. What does that mean? It's the amount and value of scholarships and mentorships and volunteer time that's been donated to the program. And this is just our first year. So what we're looking for is to try to double, triple, quadruple, and expand so we can be able to impact more students. Most importantly, we want to be able to see more successes like the ones that we've had before. And the most important thing is not hearing it from my words, but hearing it from some of the students in the program. So I got a short little video that I'm gonna play for you so you can kind of hear it from their words.
I feel like if we don't share knowledge, we don't share intellect, we make the same mistakes. At least
Coming in, I got to meet a lot of great people, both in the corporate life as well as other students at my school that I've never met before. And just being in the program, we got to bond and develop a great relationship. So in general, the BLA program has been really eye-opening to me. I was able to meet these people and learn from their experiences and help that develop my career path.
to see that someone's progression and looking forward to how they're going to be upon graduation, it's enriching in so many ways. From a student perspective, I've watched the students in our program start out a little shy, but wanting to learn a little bit more. They're eager and they're willing to be taught. And most importantly, they got a lot out of these sessions that we're doing.
I'm going into the fall with the mindset of is to just spread the word more about it and help them go through the application process so they won't miss out on this opportunity when it opens up.
I would recommend this program 110%. I would be even more willing to even be a mentor to some of the people who are coming up and want to be a part of this program.
Blazing a trail and showing that you don't have to be a certain age to give back on this level. We're going to continue to give back so we can develop.
And in the mix of the video, you got some responses from some of the student mentees, but also from some of the student mentors. And like I said, the information and everything that they've gained has been impactful for them, but it's been amazing to watch their growth and development. But more than anything, I really live for the stories that we're able to tell about what we've been able to do. And what I want to show you is a text message that really impacted my life from one of the students this year. So this is a text message from one of the scholarship winners. They sent me this text message immediately after finishing our first mentorship session where they ended up receiving the scholarship. And I'm gonna read it out to you real quickly. I feel the need to tell you thank you again. Part of me has not even actualized what just happened. I did the best I could to hold in my tears, but when I got back to my room, the floodgates opened. It's not that I don't come from nothing, but I don't come from much. My mom this past year told me she was gonna buy me an iPad. She felt I needed one for college. She didn't even know what Apple is or where she would buy it, and especially the cost, I imagine. But I told her not to worry about it since she has other needs to attend to. Yet, despite my opposition, I know that she was still saving up. It meant so much to tell her that I won one and to tell my sister that I could give her my current computer. Thank you for everything. I'm looking forward to doing the best that I can and getting all I can in the mentorship program. Have a good night and God bless. This student is one of 14 kids. She is number 13. The first in her family to go through college and will probably be the first to complete college in her family. She is setting the bar for her family as far as education and academic achievement, but also wants to set a good example for the rest of her family, including her younger sister. Now, as you can imagine, it's pretty tough for you sometimes to get the resources to go through college. Life happens. And you need those resources and you need things like financial means to get things done. By having this computer, it really kind of changed her life, but I didn't realize how much it was impactful for her. But not only that, having the scholarship wasn't the only thing that was impactful for her. Having the mentorship was just as impactful. Because a month after she sent this text message, this student developed multiple sclerosis. She missed the second mentorship session, ended up going to the hospital because she had a pain in her leg. That's when she found out she was developing multiple sclerosis and that she was now confined to a bed for the next 3 months, having to go through therapy as doctors run tests and they were trying to figure it out. Now, you can imagine a 19-year-old student finding out that their mobility has now just completely changed. It's pretty devastating. But one of the things that we made sure to do was that through the foundation is that we took turns going to visit the hospital. I went some days, the mentors went other days. and we constantly poured, loved, supported, and encouraged her. Now, I told you she was one of 14, right? I pretty much met every single family member. There were a whole bunch of them. I still don't remember names because I'm bad about names, so if I forget your name, don't hold it against me. I'll remember it about 5 or 6 times, or if we're Facebook friends. That's the only 2 ways I find it works for me. But man, I met so many family members over the course of 3 months. And we constantly encouraged and supported and let them know that, hey, you may be living in Houston, Texas. You may not be here with your daughter, but we're here to support your daughter, and we're going to be the family that she has away from home. Now, 3 months in the bedroom, in a hospital bed, really confined her from doing all of her school activities. She got 3 months behind on all of her schoolwork, as you can imagine. Now, any other student, possibly I could imagine, would have dropped out at that point. I mean, I think there was one semester when I was in college and I was sick for 2 months and I didn't finish the semester because there just was no way I was gonna catch up on all that schoolwork. But we constantly text through late hours of the night or go visit her, and we constantly supported and encouraged her. She ended up completing over the course of 1 month, 3 months worth of schoolwork, and averaged out the semester with a B. Now, she texted me at the end of the semester and was like, I didn't make an A. I said, are you kidding me? You know where you should be right now? You should have dropped out of school. You shouldn't have been in school. There was no reason for you to be able to complete all that schoolwork in 1 month. And she replied back, the reason why I was able to do it is because the constant motivation and support, the foundation, the mentors, and you have been. Thank you for being a good mentor. That's why the foundation exists. That's the stories that I'm trying to live for, the things that we could do. That's why it was so important when I said 100% of students completed their semester. It was impactful because this student had all the reasons to be able to drop out of school. Now, the good news report about her is that she's developing and learning how to walk again, taking a lot of physical therapy, but watching her progress, and she's now, growing faster than she was expected by the doctors. But that's what happens when you have good support and a good support system. And a lot of us may not have had it before, but that's one of the things that we're looking for through the foundation. And had I waited until I was 40, running a private jet, driving a Lamborghini, I wouldn't be able to impact the student's life. The program wouldn't be able to do what it's going to do. The mentors wouldn't be able to impact other people. The partners wouldn't have had this opportunity to partner with the organization to give back into their local communities. So many things would have been impacted had we waited. So, I'll leave you with this. Why give back? Because each one of you have the power to change lives. Each one of you are inspiring somebody that you have no idea. They may not say it to you, but they look at you. You are the example in which people are aspiring to be. You are a pinnacle in your community. You're a pinnacle in your family. You're a pinnacle in this whole Texas. So find your way to give back and support others, because you don't know what power and things that you really have and you can do. And the things that you want to do, figure out your why. Figure out what things make you tick. For me, I didn't want to see another student drop out of school. I didn't want to see another student not achieve their dreams, their careers, entrepreneurship, whatever it meant to them. I wanted them to all find success in their own way, and I was devoted to it. These are the things that kept me up at night. These are the things that I would seem to get mad about. It's one of my mentors used to tell me, whatever just burns your soul, that's the thing you need to go do. I'm like, okay, I guess that must be it. And through the foundation, to be able to find different ways to give impact. But I had to figure out first, that's something that I really care about, that means a lot to me. Working in the foundation gives me fulfillment. I don't see it as a day of work in my life, because I would do it regardless of finances or any kind of other circumstances. I just want to see people succeed. It's important to me. So find what that thing that makes you get on fire. Then find something that you want to change, but most importantly, figure out who can you work with to make it happen. Because it's not about solo dream, it's team dream. None of this foundation would have been successful had it not been for the mentors in the program or the speakers or the companies. I've tried to build a team around helping us to give back and support others. And each one of you are going to find that when you find that thing that you're passionate about, that other people are going to want to come around for the ride. But one of the last things I want to leave you with is that last year, I mentioned our program had 2 scholarships, one in my mother's name, one in my father's name. This year, we're opening up to ACC students. And so I want each one of y'all to apply. I want you to apply for the scholarship. I want you to apply for the mentorship program. I want to be able to pour into y'all what I've been able to pour and what we've been able to pour into other students. So I ask you, as you leave here today, to visit the website, blffoundation.org/scholarship. And I want you to apply for the program. Now, online says the deadline is going to be December 1st, but I'm going to make a special exception, or we're going to extend it to December 31st. There are a few requirements that they ask for, but I'm sure that hopefully that time extra that I'm giving y'all will help you to be able to finish everything that you need for applying for the scholarship. And if you need to go past the deadline, just let me know. Just reach out to us, an email or phone number. But I'm leaving here today with saying that you have the power to go and change lives. You have the power to impact people. Don't sell yourself short. Figure out the things that you're really passionate about and go forth, because you have the power to impact so many people that you have no idea. Thanks so much for having me.
Are you willing to take questions?
Yeah. Any questions?
When you, how long, you said you was 26?
Mhm.
When you started, how long has it been since you started your foundation?
It was just last year. So
Just last
yeah, I turned 28 in August. So July of 2016 is when I started the foundation. Oh, sorry.
So did you have to present proposals to the people that invested and funded your program, or?
It was a mixture. So some of them had online applications. Some of them I made visits to their office to kind of explain what the foundation and things were doing. So it was a mixture of both. And I prepared a presentation, shared with them the vision of what I want to accomplish, how I want to make the impact, and what the intended outcomes were. And immediately, they found some synergy in the things that they were doing and saying, you know what, I want to be a part of this. How can we work together? And I tried to make it a clear understanding of how they can really be a part and help the students. For the students, they think that I'm just some guru because like, we're always going some different place. Like, you got some business, you always got like some hookup. I'm like, no, I just share how amazing y'all are. That's why people are here. It's not anything to do with me. But the more I shared the students and their stories and the benefits that they gain, more companies are wanting to say, hey, I want to find a way to be able to be a part of it.
What was your hardest challenge or thing you had to overcome to do that?
The hardest challenge I think that I had to overcome, that's a good one. Probably just the structure of everything. When you start from the very beginning, it's identifying each one of these mentorship sessions. I could go so deep in certain topics, but what are the most important things that I want you to get out of it? For instance, we had a financial literacy session and we focused on teaching them how to do budgets and savings, but we didn't go into investments, which is one of the things identified, but we had a time constraint that made it change. So it's identifying exactly what we want the students to get out of it. Now, from a student's perspective, they're like, all of it's good. So, it worked for them, but most importantly, identifying, all right, here's the structure of the program or how one wants to go. Each one of these things grow on each other so that at the end result, they reach this desired outcome. But once figuring out that structure, it made it kind of easy to kind of go forth through the course of the year. But it took me probably, I think, last Thanksgiving, Mother and I was spending like 4 or 5 days because her background's in teaching. So she helped me in kind of lesson planning and figuring out educational objectives and all this stuff. I mean, I hadn't seen her do it all my life, but it's one thing when you have to do it yourself. So it really helped me to figure out the structure of the program, the curriculum, the intended outcomes and things to learn, and then homework assignments, which, I didn't like homework assignments in school, but I now see the importance of it, so it's interesting when you're on the other side of the fence. Okay.
I was gonna say, when you started this on your birthday, was it a fundraising, or did y'all just, a group of y'all just get together, and y'all?
It was a fundraiser. So and every year after, last year, like this past August, I did a fundraiser again for the foundation. So every year, I'm treating my birthday as a fundraiser type activity for the foundation. So it's a little bit mix of like enjoying my birthday, but more importantly, I wanted to take it into a day of service. So.
Did you say what your major was in school?
No. So I started out at UT as electrical engineering major, but I ended up finishing my degree in economics, but minoring in business management and computer science.
What would be the best route as far as the degree? Because I've kind of bounced around between business administration, but my focus is also in the nonprofit management.
Mhm.
So would that be the route I should continue with, finishing with business administration, or changing it to entrepreneurship or nonprofit management?
So the good thing that I think you can find is that everything you learn in college And a lot of these skills that you're learning can be applicable in so many different ways. When I was in school, I took the most random set of classes you could ever take. And people looked at it like, you have no focus. And the reason why I did it is because I wanted to learn certain skills out of each class. So I knew programming, knew design. I took classes on management. I took classes on marketing. I took classes on economics to understand money. I took classes in sociology to understand people. There are so many other ways I could have approached my education. I could have gone through it and get a business management degree. Like now I'm looking back and saying, all right, I want to go back to school to get my MBA so I can understand organizational management a little better, so I can know how can I utilize and have people work together. So now that I'm more in a practical sense doing the things that I'm learning in school, it applies. But I would say you can start either place. You can start in business administration or nonprofit management. If you're going into like wanting to build a nonprofit, I think nonprofit management will probably help you the most readily available. But I think both sets of skills will be important. You can go either way and still reach the desired outcome.
With your organization, do you do mentorship? Like if I were to have questions about the nonprofit as far as the bookkeeping or things like that, would y'all be able to have time?
Mm-hmm. So on our website, we have an appointment book. And so I just tell people to come in, make an appointment, and then we'll definitely talk, meet in person, whatever works best for you.
So one of the things I've noticed, and I'm saying this for the benefit of everyone here because I want you to comment on it. When I met Brian, we were in a conference setting, and some of the people that went to go listen to him speak were very well educated, very advanced in their career, much older, much more developed, like OGs, top of the game. In your journey, it's brought you to a lot of positions where the people that you're communicating with and you're dealing with are, yes, you deal with students, but a lot of the people you deal with are people that are much more superior to where your positioning in life might be. Can you talk about the confidence and the belief in yourself required to be able to go into those environments where you not only gain the respect from students, but you've also gained that respect from a lot of people that are much more, higher positions, so that you can walk into those areas with that level of respect? Because as a young person, my biggest flaw or failure or thing that I had to get over was learning how to be me, even when you're in a position where you might feel like you're less than what you might be because of your age or whatever.
Leadership is usually defined in a couple different ways. Leadership is one defined in position. You know a leader by president, CEO, etc., or manager. That's one level of leadership. But the second one is not one that has anything to do with position based. It's based upon the relationship that people have, the trust that's gained, the confidence that they see, but most importantly, people following your vision. And what I did most importantly to the people that kind of were in a more senior or more experienced position than me was share the vision of what I wanted to accomplish and share this is the direction and the path that I'm going on this journey. I want you to come along on this ride. And seeing the vision, seeing the passion that I had allowed for some people to come on and defer to me, I guess, in a leadership role. But most importantly, I made it a very inclusive environment. I want their feedback, I want their understanding, I wanted their wisdom, but I also have a vision of what I want to accomplish as well. And there was a lot of mutual respect because the ultimate end goal, where we're going, the values that we had to get to that goal was something in line with themselves. And they were more excited than anything to see, as they say, a young brother kind of doing his thing and not waiting for a long period of time before making that happen. And so I made it really easy for people to kind of work closely with us in the program and it not be about age, but be about this is the vision and the mission we have to accomplish. As I say, we're mission driven. We have students that we want to impact. We want to see them successful. We want to pour into them so much that they're going to go back and support their own communities. This is the thing that we're all down here for, and egos and other things don't have any room for it. So. It is still weird though, because a lot of times the mentors in the program are telling me, I wish I had a program like this when I was in school. Like, you want to go back and like redo my school? Like, can I go apply for the scholarship? And like, it was weird because a lot of them are older than me. And so it's interesting to see the dynamic of not only the students are impacted, but also the mentors gain a lot from it too. They come into it with their notepads and writing stuff and like, man, this is great stuff for me. So it's interesting. But I think a lot of things, wisdom can come from a lot of different places. One piece definitely is age and experience that teaches it, but also there's sometimes different viewpoints that can get your mind really thinking outside the box of what you kind of assume to be true. So.
From your
So our program wraps up in December. For the students that have graduated, they're now looking between grad school and different jobs. For the students that are in the program, a few of them are going to stay on as a student alumni mentor. So next year, they're going to be able to assist in the program, assisting the next class from their own alumni type experiences. Not only that, you think marketing is usually a hard thing. I get the message out, I let people know. So as I'm getting to think about marketing, after a mentorship session, 4 students come up to me and it's like, all right, this is how we're getting the message out. We're going to plan this event, we're going to be there, we're going to speak about this, we're going to tell all the students about the scholarship. They didn't give me time to even say, that's a great idea. That's how adamant they were about the program. And so they've taken their own leadership roles to share with their friends and tell other people, this is what I'm doing on my weekends. This is what I'm doing for 2 hours on a Saturday once a month. And you were the fool for missing out. They said that, not me. But I've seen their leadership growth and development and kind of helping other people and sharing the lessons and things that they learn all throughout the year.
You work with college students. Do you go into the high schools because it's always better if you catch them at an earlier age to help them develop to where you want them to get? Do you go into the high schools and mentor and things like that?
So high school definitely is something that is a focus for us, but not in our current probably 5 years. We're focused right now specifically on college students, but trying to find partnerships with other organizations that are doing a lot of great work in high school and seeing how we can work closely with them to build a pipeline to get them through high school, college, and then getting them directly into careers. But there will be something that I think we're working on as far as like a program that's going to be suited probably for rising freshman students like once they've completed high school. But I definitely agree with you, high school is a very important thing to do.
So do you have, is this your full-time deal, or do you have other employment and this is kind of on the side?
So I have other employment on top of this.
Okay.
So this is what I do in my fun time. Any other questions?
What criteria do the students that are here have to meet in order to apply for the scholarship?
Sure. So a little bit about the scholarship requirements. It's a GPA requirement, but it's also loose. So if you don't meet the GPA requirement, I still want you to apply. There's also a letter of recommendation from a faculty member within the institution. You'll need to submit a resume and then answer 3 short answer questions, 250 characters or less. So please share it with everybody. I know some of you students are like, nah, I'm gonna keep it for myself because I'm gonna apply, get it for myself, then tell everybody, oh, you should have applied. GPA is 3.0. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we have taken students that have been lower than that GPA cutoff.
So do students have to go through the financial aid office and do the FAFSA for yours as well, or is this like a standalone kind of?
It's a standalone, so you don't have to do anything with FAFSA. Pretty much all the requirements are just what's on the website.
Okay. And that's for any student, no matter what semester they're in, or?
Mm-hmm. Because it takes students all the way from freshman all the way to their senior year. So. And then more information also will be on the website at blffoundation.org/scholarship.
Any other questions for Mr. Fontenot? Well, we are so appreciative of your sharing this expertise.
Thank you.
Hopefully you've gotten some tips on entrepreneurship as well as philanthropy, and as part of your educational experience. And we certainly appreciate all of the work that you're doing in the community and providing a voice, a positive voice for our students to aspire to. Just want to let you know before you go, there is more food